this mean for Hillary Clinton? Mark Thiessen is a Fox News contributor and former chief presidential speechwriter for President George W. Bush. Mark, good to see you. So let's just start with this. They found 5 emails with classified information about it. We knew that yesterday. Now we find out they come from 5 different intelligence agencies, and they're the big ones, like the CIA and the DIA and the NSA, and the list goes on, or the DNI, and the list goes on. And now her critics are saying this may be a crime, and it may be one worse than General Petraeus was prosecuted for, because in his situation, our own Catherine Harris was reporting this earlier, the FBI raided his home, I think it was, in part because classified information was not being properly stored there in a way that would protect it. And yet her classified information is sitting on her server in Chappaqua, and so far I have not heard about an FBI raid.
Yeah, and she's not in office anymore. You're not allowed to retain classified information once you've left office. And look, those 5 emails were from a sample of only 40 emails that the Office of Inspector General was allowed to look for. So 5 emails out of 40 emails, that's about 1 in 8. If you extrapolate that to 30,000 emails, you're talking hundreds, probably thousands of classified emails if it continues at that rate. That is a very, very serious issue, and it is quite frankly, it's a crime. It is a crime to remove and retain classified information from a secure government facility.
And the Clintons know that because they've been in a similar position before.
No, that's exactly right. So in 2003, Bill Clinton's national security advisor, Sandy Berger, was actually investigated. He removed 5 classified documents from a secure facility at the National Archives, and he had to plead guilty to a misdemeanor removal and retention of classified information. He was fined $50,000. He was sentenced to 2 years of probation, 100 hours of community service, and had his security clearance withdrawn for 3 years, and later actually gave up his law license to avoid disbarment. So that's how serious that was. That was 5 documents. We've already, according to the Inspector General, reached the threshold of 5 documents with Hillary Clinton based on just 40, a sample of 40. If you go through those 30,000 emails, it could be hundreds or thousands of documents that she has unlawfully kept on her server in Chappaqua.
She's a lawyer, too. She claims she did not know anything on there was classified at the time, but that won't necessarily save her. In the meantime, the polls, Mark, she is now underwater by 11 points, with just 40% approving of her, 51 disapproving, and her unfavorables are on honest and trustworthy. Only 57% of the people believe that 57% of the people believe she is not honest or trustworthy.
Yeah, that's really bad news. And the really bad news is that when Quinnipiac asked people what is the #1 issue you're looking for in a presidential candidate, they said honest and trustworthy was the #1 issue. 57% say she is not honest and trustworthy. Her numbers on honest and trustworthy dropped 16 points in the last year. So it's a direct result of this email controversy.
But is it that, or is it all these GOPers out there bashing her every day?
Well, I don't think that any GOPer has shown her to be honest and not honest and trustworthy. She's done that by saying, I didn't have any classified information on my servers, and now we're finding out she did. And this is going to continue to drip out because the State Department is releasing this in tranches. So there's going to be a bunch of emails released tomorrow. Then a few weeks later, there's going to be more. And the Inspector General is going to look at those emails, and he's going to start doing the same thing he did to those 40 emails to the other emails, and seeing how many agencies' information was on that. Wow. And we're going to get to the point where this could be a criminal investigation.
We're talking about the Intelligence Community Inspector General, who went through and said there may have been potentially hundreds of classified emails on her private server. Mark, we'll continue to follow it. Thank you.